I am not speaking out the name. The question is, can you please put some light on the sequence of universe creation as given in Veda? So, well, interesting question. We have taken up this subject in detail when we were discussing 3-in-1 principle. If you are familiar with Sandhya mantras, those three mantras called Agmashan mantras, they are the last sukta of Rig Veda is Sangathan Sukta, and the one just before that has these three mantras, namely Tan Satyancha Vidyat Tapaso, then Samudradanavada Dadi Samvatsaro Vajayata, then it is Surya Chandra Masau Dhata Yatha Purvam Kalpaya. These three mantras, in a very concise form, are describing the philosophy of creation. But in more detail, it is covered in Rig Veda. There is a Nasadi Sukta, and of course, there are many other parts of the Vedic literature. But let's look at these three mantras. The first one, which I have partly used already, it is just saying ab initio, before the world comes into existence, tatah samudro anava, there is an infinite ocean. That ocean is called as samudra arnav, as if there is a homogeneous matter. And it doesn't get transformed by itself. There is a maker of it, intelligent, and he gives rise to the world, which is called as Satya, and the world functions according to certain underlying ground principles that is called as Hit. And that comes into existence because that supreme consciousness has the necessary knowledge, Idha, and also has the authority and power to act upon the matter, that is tapas. So in the first statement, it says that the matter is there, which is in a homogeneous form. Like imagine you are deep in Pacific Ocean, it's everything quiet, no movement, nothing is happening, water is also calm, and anywhere you see it's all the same, is it not? So just imagine that kind of a thing. The whole universe is like that. And then of course that supreme being is there. Then what does he do next? Then he says time is created. Samvatsaro ajayata. So samudrad anavad adhi. Adhi is he has authority. Adhinayak. Adhi means who has an authority. Ajayata is to make, to give rise to. Samudrad anavad. So that samudra of that anav, samudrad anavad adhyat samudrad anavad adhi samvatsaro ajayat. Samvatsar means time is. So very first thing he makes is, and that time gives rise to ahoratrani vidadat samvat vidadat mishato vashi. What is he saying is, that time to us looks like day and night, seasons and all months and years, whatever it is in our day-to-day functioning. So that time parameter is born, and you know it. If nothing moves, there is no time. Say, we discussed slightly about Sushupti, deep, dreamless sleep. When there is nothing happening in my mind, no dreams also. When you come out of that dreamless sleep, you have no idea of time. You have no idea you were in sleep for 2 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours, because you were in a world where time didn't exist. So as far as you are concerned, you were in a world where time did not exist. Because what is our world? Seemingly we live in this world, is it not? But actually our world is what just now we discussed, is the mind and antakaran and all. So within the mind, the closest to us is called buddhi. Now, if there is nothing happening in the buddhi, so we are always watching that buddhi. So you can look at it as that inner TV. So seemingly I am seeing this laptop screen, but actually I am watching a screen somewhere hidden here in my that tiny cave. So in my tiny cave, me, the Purush, is watching a tiny screen. That is my buddhi, is it not? So in the daytime, in the evening, even when with my eyes closed, I may have something there. And even as I go to sleep, I am dreaming. My dreams are also coming there. And if I know how to switch it off, or if I have a good luck, deep sleep, no dreams, then that inner TV is really off, is it not? So in this particular situation, when as far as I am concerned, from a subjective point of view, if my mind is calm and quiet, nothing happening in my mind, there is no time, is it not? So time is always corresponding to movement. If there is movement, something is moving. And of course, in the world, we have a concept of time because the earth is moving and we have put our atomic clocks, corresponding to this earth movement. You might be aware some 3 years, 4 years ago, all the top physicists, they decided to set our atomic clock 1 second behind. They adjusted. All the world's clocks were adjusted by 1 second so that they are in sync with the Earth's movement. So, Earth is moving at 100,000 kilometers per hour, such a gigantic ball, 7,000 kilometers or so diameter, and is running at such a huge speed, but it covers the entire orbit in a very precise time that modern atomic clocks have to be adjusted accordingly. So this is time is commensurate to movement. So when the Arnav is there, that Samudra Arnav, there is nothing moving, there is no time. So how is time created? That Supreme Being excites some particle somewhere so that at one location there is some movement, is it not? Now that becomes the reference point, and that also becomes start of the parameter that we know as time. Prior to that, there was no time. So time gets created very first thing at the start of the whole universe to be in making. And then, of course, he starts movement in so many locations, so many particles, galaxies are made, solar system and all. That is what is described in the next Surya Chandra Masaudhata. So then the space parameter is made. And then I have already covered, he is intelligent, he is conscious being, and he has the knowledge, and all that knowledge that we gain is nothing but we don't invent knowledge, we discover knowledge. So knowledge he is the original source of knowledge. That's what Patanjali is saying. Savajyat bijam. So purvesham api guru kalenan vachedat. So Ishwa is all-knowing because he is only the source of knowledge. And then he doesn't gain it from others. He doesn't have a teacher. He is inherently the knowledge. So Savajyatu Bijam, as if he has the seed of the knowledge. So in brief, I will say the philosophy of creation